So excited to revisit it as we do check out what's going to happen here in the ban and pick for game number 1. Afreeca on our blue side and DRX on the red. Both of them very blue when it comes to the team colors, but only one of them can be on the blue side.
And also you already mentioned about Aphelios versus Ezreal, but the point is Mystic already won all the games with his Aphelios and got POG all the games.
Yeah.
And he has 0-2 on his Ezreal. So my question is DRX is gonna let him play his champion Aphelios, you know? And do they have actually a great method to play against it?
Well, we'll have to find out. At the moment, they are focusing on the bottom side, but it is the Kalista that has hit the bench first. Varus, of course, is banned every single game. But now one last flexible ban here for Afreeca, who have the luxury of blue side banning, and it will be set, taken away from Keria, from Chovy, from Pyosik, and from Doran, all at the same time.
There's one more question for Afreeca Freecs, because when Spirit played Nidalee, he played perfectly. Like
he was super good, yeah.
Yeah, playing early game and just managed to support his carry with item builds as well. That was like getting spotlighted so many times. But when he played Graves, he was literally farming for 25 minutes and doing nothing. Ended up doing nothing. But yeah, this time around, again, Aphelios for Mystic, currently 4-0, got POG all the time. 4 POGs with Aphelios, by the way.
Yep.
So, yeah, DRX just let them happen. Maybe CVMX is trying to apologize again with strat, but we'll see, you know, because they have Deft's Ezreal.
They do. However, Deft, he did start the season with one of the only victories for Ezreal, especially in this matchup.
Oh, yeah.
When Ezreal was, I believe, sitting at 1-8 after
oh,
the
yeah.
first week. But Ezreal, Karma, both locked in here for DRX, and I'm very much hoping that this is the duo lane, and Chovy isn't going to be on Karma. Because what happens when you pick Ezreal Karma is you inevitably have a composition that does not have enough damage, and Aphelios gets a free pass to the late game, and oh my god, don't do it again. So this is what Gen G did, okay? They did it yesterday.
True.
When they executed this comp, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Clid was everywhere on the map. He was controlling the tempo, keeping it very fast-paced so that Lee Sin could do his thing. Is Pyosik going to do the same thing?
This is what LPL likes to play, you know?
Yeah.
With Ezreal Lee Sin, I think Ezreal Lee Sin is best combo right now in Rift. Because when you think about Ezreal, it's all about mid-late game, not only early game, you know? I mean, his early game is still great, but depends on his item build as well and on the landing phase, you know. But Lee Sin can fill that up, and you can actually go front to back so easily with these champions, you know, because they have so many dashes.
The thing about Ezreal that makes him so good is he can self-peel, right?
Yeah.
So you can have all of these diving junglers, diving top laners. Like now, ideally, you wanted a Wukong, right? But Afreeca are going to ban that away intelligently. Lulu and Jace to leave the Rift here on DRX's side. The Lulu is an interesting one, although Fly has been prioritizing utility, and now with Karma and Lulu gone, it does make a little bit of sense to take it away and take the augmentation of the Ardent Sensor away from the Aphelios.
There is still Galio for Fly, so there's no problem, but maybe the problem is DRX has 5th pick to counter it really hard.
I think for some reason, there's a Poppy ban, right, in this game. Yeah. So I've been thinking about this a lot. And Poppy did ruin a composition recently. I believe it was Ixu that played the Poppy.
Yeah.
And Steadfast Presence just destroyed everything that the team wanted to do.
Okay. No. It's Karma for either Doran or Chovy right now.
Wouldn't mind it in Doran's hands. Does certainly hide a top lane pretty effectively.
Oh, yeah?
We saw Rascal utilize it very, very well out of that Gen G draft that I was referring to before. And it means that when there's one of those super carries on the top side of the map, you just play Karma, right? And they don't get to really play the game. As Fly is going to be picking up the Twisted Fate. Certainly one that he used to play a lot and to a very high level.
Yeah, and DRX choose Ezreal Braum on the bot lane, right? Which means they are looking for late game against Aphelios, but I'm not sure if it's gonna work against Afreeca Freecs because they want to go to the late game as well because they have Aphelios already.
Yeah.
And they have good early game tool with Trundle, TF, it's already set it up, and then Mordekaiser on the top. It's like so balanced, you know, but I'm not sure. Okay.
Okay, so we've got 3 supports and a Lee Sin and an Ezreal. Chovy mid Ezreal? Poggers?
No, that's not happening. That's not happening. I don't want to see Mrogana Braum bot lane. That's disaster. Or maybe we can see like Braum top lane and Karma Mrogana bot lane, but that's not happening, you know?
I mean, there is a lot of short-range CC here on the DRX comp, but playing short-range into Aphelios is exactly what you never want to do. So I don't... Look. Yeah.
Yeah, that is my... I already mentioned it. Afreeca Freecs really want to go to the late game. It's already set it up. They are really balanced. Their early game is not horrible. So their setup is already perfect. But DRX just randomly choose to not use Ezreal Karma on the bot lane. And they just gave up bot lane prior too. So I'm not sure if it's gonna work at the late game. But yeah, it's for sure interesting draft again from CV Max that they have Karma and Mrogana again. But I'm not sure if they have enough damage though.
That's the problem that I'm looking at. I don't think there's nearly enough damage here. I mean, if people are playing around in puddles the entire time, then yes, Mrogana's going to do some damage.
Yeah.
And if you're going to all collapse on top of her, you'll also do a fair bit of damage, right?
Or if you had Aphelios with this composition.
Oh, I know.
It would be like so perfect, you know?
And I mean, I'm looking at this comp, right? And you do see that there is value to the Steadfast Presence. There is a reason to ban away the Poppy, but I don't know whether Kiin is going to Ixu this game, you know? And if Kiin is playing Poppy, is that something that's going to make you happy, right? Because honestly, like Poppy into Karma, she's not going to have a great time.
No.
She's just going to, you know, sit back and not really be able to have an impact in the early stages. So if that Poppy ban was in fact an Aphelios ban, then this looks a lot better.
I agree. I completely agree. And especially when I already mentioned so many times that Mystic is all about Aphelios, you know?
Oh, yeah.
His stats, it's because of Aphelios. And he carried most of the team fights. And yeah, he got it again. He didn't die many times on Aphelios when we were always talked about why Mystic is not that good enough in Spring Split because he died so many times in lane and in team fights. But with his Aphelios, with that dance, he didn't die that much. And his team also know that he can carry 1v9 all the time.
Okay, so let's go into the good things about DRX's comp.
Okay.
Because we've spoken about the fact that we're very worried that it doesn't have a lot of damage, and that is true. One thing it does have is extraordinarily large amounts of area control.
True.
You can control everything about a teamfight, especially with the Glacial Augment Mrogana. I don't know whether Mrogana would have been better than Nico or not, but Nico does a very similar thing, and we've seen her more recently. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's going to be enough to mitigate the lack of damage problem, because we're always looking at Aphelios in compositions like this or in games like this to see whether there's going to be enough to stop him from getting a crescendum and killing literally everyone.
Yeah. I mean, you must one-shot Aphelios.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
That's the point, you know, if you want to play against Aphelios. Or, like, dash into him, like, at the same time and make it really, like, really complicated for Aphelios to just fight front to back. But right now, it seems like really easy because they have no damage right now.
Yep. Unless Deft gets extraordinarily far ahead. And that's something that can happen. He is a very good Ezreal player. We can see him trading very nicely here. And if you do ever tag the Aphelios with the Braum, then that's going to be very reliable CC. So, I mean, there certainly are ways to deal with it. As you see, Keria going to have to flash very early, and Spirit's just going to wander his way in. Deft still has the Arcane Shift. Unbreakable comes down, and Spirit takes way too much damage here in this lane. Deft played that very calmly. I really, really enjoyed how he played that one out. Just hold on to the E and just continue kiting.
Oh, so
Early game stats not great for DRX, by the way.
yeah, it's really mystery. They literally said it's mystery that DRX has this weird kind of stats.
Ah, DRX have just paused saying, oh, these aren't the right champions. Can we go back?
Can we redraft?
Yeah, we were supposed to ban Ben's Nautilus because he's been one-tricking it this entire season. Oh, we were supposed to ban Aphelios. Oh, sorry, we forgot. No, not the case, not the case. We're just going to have a little bit of a pause here. I'm going to take a cheeky little peek back, as it looks like Keria is the man on the screen. Maybe he fat-fingered the flash.
I'm not sure. And
Not sure.
I already worry about this situation because hey, but
Okay.
luckily we do not have pass for
It's not too
1.5 hours.
I don't know what... we'll find out what the punishment actually is going to be, whether it's just fine or something like that, as Pyosik looking for a little bit of gank here on the fly. We call that a drive-by, as it's another dredge line that's going to land really beautifully there. Deft uses the rest of his mana, does get the stun onto the Nautilus, and that's going to stop any further aggression. Teleport was picked up here by Deft, so he can choose to go back. As you can see, Pyosik also going to do the same. They're looking to try and stop Spirit from getting too aggressive here, as he does kill the ward immediately, something you can do quite easily with the Chomp. Yeah. And observe Keria's positioning. Always got to make sure that you're there for the unbreakables, as our Spirit's just going to steal away the Gromp.
It seems like it's still really great early game by Pyosik because he got double scuttles.
Yeah, true. That's a lot of extra gold here.
Yeah, he's still controlling the early games, but there is still worry that they have not enough damage because Mrogana picked up Glacier Arguments and the top lane Karma picked up Grass. So
it's definitely going to be Iceborne Gauntlet for Doran. Or, I mean, I guess you don't necessarily need to. You can go with something like an Athene's Unholy Grail instead, because you're up against a Mordekaiser who's going to be doing magic damage.
Oh,
it might help the ability for Karma to scale a little bit better. But even so, right, like, Karma is still Karma regardless, as Pyosik lands a Q here onto Spirit, trying to fight this one out, but that is press the attack on the Trundle, and that is a scary amount of damage. Kiin's down to about half health here, so Pyosik should be able to make it out just fine. And thankfully for DRX, Fly didn't have level 6 just yet.
And yeah, we had the subtitle for that. Finally, after 353 days, it's mid Mrogana again in LCK, and it was actually Chovy that the last time when mid Mrogana was popped off in LCK when he was in Griffin.
Well, we'll just have to see whether he's going to make it work. I remember the most famous game with mid Mrogana, and Deft was in it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
MSI 2015, where in Game 5, EDG picked mid Mrogana versus Faker's undefeated LeBlanc.
Oh yeah.
And beat them. It was a very historic day.
And it was Pawn, by the way.
It was Pawn, yep.
And he's in Analyst Desk right now.
Is he actually here today?
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't see him in the back. Okay, that's fantastic. So we get to actually hear from Pawn, the man himself. I hope so.
That's true, actually.
That would be so good.
They've been perfect.
LCK production knew that it was going to happen, so they made sure that they put him on the broadcast. That's just the level of forward thinking that we have here in the LCK. One thing that Mrogana can do a lot is push the wave. So DRX should be able to have lane control for the majority of this early game. That's going to give Pyosik the ability to do whatever he wants, basically. But I want to see Pyosik actually create some chaos, create some issue here for Afreeca to deal with, because Afreeca are so happy to chill out and do nothing for as long as possible and then get on the Mystic bus.
Yeah, because they got crushed by T1.
Oh, yeah.
When they didn't have all the game priors. But right now, I think this situation is what Afreeca Freecs wanted.
Oh, 100%.
Nothing happens in early game, and just go for the late game, because it's all about Mystic. I already said it before. It's all about team fight.
And you can see that's exactly what Spirit has on his mind. He's looking to try and promote some sort of dive attempt or something like that. You can see Pyosik is in his jungle at the moment, stealing things away. There are pings out. But here, Afreeca have exactly the correct vision, as Deft gets a pretty good trade here under Mystic. Unbreakable is very good. against Aphelios. I think that might be what... Okay, that's a flash forward into the Soul Shackles. Fly not going to be able to avoid this stun. As the Dark Binding comes down as well, as Pyosik thought he had the Q onto Fly, but no, it's going to be Mystic that blocks it immediately, and Ben here for the support. Ignite down onto Pyosik as Safeguard is going to bait Ben in. Aftershock now down, the exhaust going to be used. They do get the flash. Spirit in the meantime is just going to be taking on a Brambleback, and DRX are going to have to back away. But it looks like this is their opportunity to go towards this Dragon. And there's a teleport back from Deft. That got him back to the lane earlier, so he has his Sheen as Mystic's going to turn up. There's the Destiny. Pyosik is very low as Winter's Bite will land. Chovy, remember, no flash and no Soul Shackles for the moment, and this Dragon is very low. Q lands there from Mystic. He has exactly the weapons that he wants here at level 5, and it looks like DRX are going to have to give up this Drake, and Kiin here already. That's going to guarantee it. Dark Binding barely missing off the back end, but a definite advantage here to Afreeca, unless Doran takes this turret or something like that, but he's calmer, he's not going to be able to do it.
That was actually long skirmishes started from mid lane, and if Pyosik was closer than he was, I think they could actually one-shot TF, but that was not organized, so that's why Fly could actually survive. That was great defensive play by Spirit as well.
Yeah, I think Spirit blocking the Q was huge to keep Fly alive.
But anyways, at the end, because of Kiin's move from the top lane, Afreeca Freecs got the first Drake. And this is already a really good start because DRX is one who had like all the lane of priors because of Mrogana and Karma.
Yeah.
And Afreeca Freecs is all about the late game, but they already got the first Drake. So it's already easy game set it up for Afreeca Freecs right now.
The gold, not necessarily telling that story, but you're exactly right. I mean, a Dragon this early with a late game comp is 100% cherry on top. Like, you're never supposed to be able to get that, right? You want to be fighting for soul points and denying them and then outscaling, right? That's sort of how the game goes. Not going to be happening this time around, and Afreeca are also going to be able to move towards the top side, take down the Rift Herald, and DRX's early game statistics continue to look absolutely woeful. As Super Soaker picked up here by Chovy, so that Glacial Augment certainly going to be looking good. Kiin clears out this minion wave. Okay, is the rotation as Kiin. He could just be dead, but does have Death Realm, and the rest of Afreeca are going to turn up. Doran is inside the Death Realm and will get out in front of 4 people as he flashes away, and will give First Blood over to Mystic, of all people. And I hope CV Max is preparing that next apology, because it's not looking like this was a stroke of genius. Pyosik's going to turn up. Death's Grasp lands onto Keria. First turret plate will go down, and there is Shelly to be placed right in front of this turret. Mrogana not actually able to lead this lane just yet, and there is vision absolutely everywhere. And Afreeca now will steal away the gold lead.
Yeah, I guess that first skirmishes, the first skirmish would actually affect DRX so hard, because right now it's already doomed, I guess, because...
Yeah, well, I mean, it's looking like that, yeah.
The Herald is already on the Aphelios side. He got so much gold, and yeah, it's looking like Afreeca Freecs is not afraid to take the fight anymore because they are strong enough to fight back.
And Mystic's going to go back, finish his Infinity Edge, get very close to his next item as well. It's actually, no, not going to quite be that finish. It does have Berserker's Greaves. And Kiin survived this, remember, just face checking, thankfully. Did have access to the Death Realm.
And yeah, I'm not sure why DRX choose to play on top side. Yes, they have bot lane, but Chovy was stuck in the base with Pyosik, so that was literally the separated play by DRX. Seemed like unorganized, not synchronized at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we can say that draft is one of the problem, but also their in-game play is not good as well.
I mean, and yeah, you can actually work out exactly what DRX are trying to do with this comp, right? You can see how this comp would work. They're not playing to that at this point in time.
No.
Not end of the world just yet, of course. Only 300 gold in it as far as advantages or anything like that. But when you factor in scaling, things get very worrying. As Keria Standing in this brush. Just trying to bait him in there as Pyosik's going to land the Q there. Looking for the kill under Ben, who dredge lines and goes golden. There's the ulti, and that's going to be a dead Nautilus. And now Fly makes his way forward. Not a lot of mana there as Chovy's in this fight, but there's the Moonlight Vigil. Your AoE not quite as good as ours, says Afreeca Freecs. And DRX will back away despite it being 3 versus 4.
That was really great pickup by DRX, and at the same time, I really want to focus on Pyosik because I think it's, if DRX really wants to take this game, it's not Deft who really needs to 1v9, it's Pyosik, I think.
I think Pyosik doesn't need to 1v9, but he needs to take Mystic out of the fight, and then Deft can carry.
And
right?
make the early game skirmishes.
Yeah.
Because if they reach to the late game, I'm not sure, you know, it's about the draft, they have no damage, so as much as possible, they have to make a lot of situations between Lee Sin and Ezreal, and it's on Pyosik right now. And they did it on the top lane, but it was only 1 kill, and it was only support who died from Afreeca Freecs. So there is still so many tasks on DRX side, but as you mentioned it's not end of the world. So we'll see what's going to happen in the next situation.
Well, Pyosik's going to look to try and solo out this Drake. Spirit's moving on down as Fly, sitting at about half health. Chovy practically ungankable here in the mid lane, so not something that Spirit's going to be looking at. Black Shield's one hell of an ability. And so probably not going to be worried about too much. As the Drake is picked up, and Ocean Soul is what we're coming to deal with. So this is actually DRX's out. If they reach Ocean Soul, how are you supposed to get through a Karma Morgana comp? I don't think that is super difficult, even for an Aphelios. Because they should just be able to get on top of him and take him down. Right here, the exhaust onto Mystic, definitely very high value. DRX were able to get out with their 1 kill. So 1-1, going to be the scoreline, 100 gold in it. As DRX managed to pull back just a little bit. Couple of extra turret plates here picked up. Of course, Shelly helping out there. I'm still worried, Woodid. Still worried for what DRX are going to do as this game goes further forward. Because what we want here in the LCK is competitive matches where you don't necessarily know the outcome until, you know, that one team fight, you know, where players are going to, it's based on how they play. I don't like a game where the draft tells us, oh, well, it's reached 25 minutes on the clock, I guess these guys win. And I'm scared that that might be the case. But we'll see. DRX might have a plan.
And yeah, there is still Ezreal who got the first kill and still growing up really good. Maybe that 1 kill actually helps DRX to snowball this game, because it seems like DRX is controlling the top side river, and this is what they wanted. And Spirit.
Yeah, Spirit's going to turn up. Mystic's already starting to do a lot of damage here. There's the ulti back. They do nail it onto Spirit. Their Winter's Bite also going to land. True Shot Barrage comes in as Pyosik trying to find position. Fly gets into the backline and Mystic is dead. Deft took it upon himself to take him down. Double kill already for Deft's Ezreal, and Fly is running the hell away from that Lee Sin. Spirit now trying to escape, and I think Afreeca know that without Mystic, they're not going to do anything, as Doran's going to lock down the 3rd kill of the skirmish. And this is what DRX have to do, and in this instance, they nailed it.
And yeah, Mystic had no flash, and he just ran into Braum for no reason. Yes, they really wanted to push them out to get the vision back, but this one, he didn't have flash and no cleans. And he literally just ran into Braum, who had ultimate on him. So he got one-shotted. And this is really good news for DRX. And it's again, Pyosik and Chovy is getting mid-prior against Twisted Fate. And it seems like Fly is struggling, because you never can roam with pushing mid.
That's the answer to the Twisted Fate from DRX here. So maybe we're starting to see some of the genius. 3-0-1 though. This is the huge difference now. Deft is even building towards a Trinity Force. It's not going to be the Iceborne Gauntlet this time. Look, that's just going to be a much bigger 2-item power spike, and I respect that from DRX. They still know that scaling is not in their favor. And so Deft will have that Trinity Force built up very soon, looking to try and get that Mrogana transformation as well. And let's just see whether DRX can start this snowball hurtling towards Afreeca Freecs.
And yeah, Fly's Twisted Fate is doing literally nothing in this game, it seems like.
He's got a bit of fun.
Yeah, he's farming with Twisted Fate, maybe.
Congratulations.
Yeah, farming with Azir or Corki was better probably.
Yeah, maybe, okay.
But anyways, DRX is controlling the game and getting the first tower in the mid lane.
That's actually huge. Mid-outer turret is gigantic. They have a comp that does pick very, very well with Braum, Mrogana, even the Karma, especially as follow-up, is going to be doing great things there.
And yeah, look at Doran's item build. It's not Iceborne, Gunsled, boring Karma.
Yeah, no, actually...
It's actually spicy Karma on the top lane.
And you remember when Faker did this? He built the...
Oh, yeah.
It went away from the Athene's Unholy... Sorry, the Ardent Sensor build. As we've got Chovy trying to kill Fly here.
Oh.
Puts a puddle underneath him. That actually does a fair bit of damage there, as Ben's going to turn up. Spirit looking to try and lock this one down as Fly jumps on top of Chovy into a puddle. Chovy's still going to die, guys. Was going for a bit of a battle. The rest of DRX not really doing much with this.
Glacier Augment Mrogana has no damage, guys. It's official.
Yeah. As Mystic, that was a pretty high value flash.
No flash again, but anyways, we checked that Mrogana has no damage, by the way.
Yeah.
He literally landed all the skull shots on Twisted Fate and did nothing.
Yeah. And also, Fly was sitting on a stopwatch the entire time anyway.
Yep.
So, knew that he was under no threat. It's not necessarily Chovy's job as this Mrogana, it's just unfortunate that he really does need more damage because of the composition that they have.
And the item build as well.
Yeah. And he's probably going to be building into Zhonya's next item, so it's not going to get better from here, would it? It's going to be like 5th item Rabbidan's Death Cap into 6th item Void Staff.
Yeah.
And then he's allowed to do some damage, maybe.
But anyways, that was great pickup by Afreeca Freecs. And still, Mystic's Aphelios died only one time. So it still be possible, and the first Drake is helping them so much, by the way. It's delaying so much time.
Oh yeah. And DRX, I guess, might be happy that at least they get to pick up yet another Ocean Drake to augment that soul further. But Afreeca, they're going to get to the point where they're happy to teamfight much sooner than DRX get to a soul point. Because, of course, that first Drake. So it has multiple advantages, not only for the extra stats, but just for the time that it's bought them. As Chovy does have a lot of CDR, so he puts puddles on his puddles.
Oh, Fly went Rapid Fire Cannon for second item.
Ultra Utility Twisted Fate for the long-range gold card. That is his job. He is a stun bot.
And I think right now it's Afreeca's main job is moved to Kiin because their composition, DRX's composition is all about just grouping as 5 as Karma, Mrogana, Ezreal just shooting some skill shots, but Mordekaiser, he can always bring the players in to his room. So I think it's Kiin who really needs to work hard to make this game easy.
Well, Keria gonna have to stand behind some minions here as the Unbreakable does absolutely so much work. That was just insane. As Ben is gonna go down very, very quickly. Instant QSS there from Deft, gets out of the gold card. As Kiin dives into the middle of the fight, puts Chovy in the Death Realm. We'll see whether Chovy is going to live. The Dark Binding is going to be there, and my god, they just survived for so damn long. Pyosik gets the kickback on a Mystic, but it's not going to be enough, as Keria has to shield himself, and the AoE flies down onto DRX, but they're still alive, and Deft is still looking for more. No Mystic shot to land onto Mystic there, as Kiin doesn't get the Death's grasp through the wall, and it's just going to be that kill onto Ben, but he's already respawned. DRX not really able to get too much, but neither are Afreeca. This game's confusing.
Yes, it's confusing, and those shields, man.
Yeah, well, like, this is, I'm like looking at this DRX comp and I'm like, it's bordering on genius, but also I'm still super worried that it's just gonna get 200 years.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like AD carry versus AD carry, but it's more like shields versus 200 years.
Yeah, exactly.
That was really great kick during the fight by Pyosik, but anyways, actually Doran's karma is saving the day with shields, because if it was just normal tank karma on the top side, he couldn't save the teammates in this kind of skirmishes and team fights, you know? But right now, Doran is doing his job, and he already made the Athens too.
Yep, he's completed that one. Now Ardent Sense going to be coming in for Deft. I hate it personally. I've always had this real uncomfortableness when it comes to building Ardent Senses for Ezreals, because they're not a stand there hyper carry that really value it as much, but you're still able to utilize it. Pyosik as well is going to be able to get some work done as the spooky goes to come down, and Spirit is just caught. Keria's going to lock him down as now they're looking to try and dive onto Mystic. There's the kickback. Stun comes through and DRX nail it here. And now Deft trying to fight this one. Over the wall he goes, and the Death Realm comes in onto Pyosik, who just hops his way out. Kiin was looking to try and bait him there with the W. Obliterate doesn't quite land there onto Pyosik though. Is now Deft looking for the Mordekaiser. And it looks like DRX may have built the snowball just big enough to get themselves the advantages they were looking for.
Deft Ezreal is making all the kills happening around him, and got all the kills as well.
I don't know.
They have enough damage as well.
Yeah, this is what happens when you augment a very good Ezreal player. Having this amount of utility could just be enough. Plus Keria managing to get that Winter's Bite onto Mystic. Pyosik understanding that his only job is to put a boot into the face of Aphelios. That is his job this whole game. And he did it. And even got out of Kiin with that hop over the wall.
And yeah, he definitely did it. And we worry about the damage all the time when we see DRX's team composition, but right now they do have enough damage because of Ezreal.
Trinity Force Ezreal, man. Maybe that's the answer.
And also Pyosik is popping off with his kicks. So I think there is no problem at all for DRX side. And Afreeca Freecs, man, they are falling out.
Yeah.
They're falling out so fast. It's again, it seems like it's deja vu from T1.
Chovy, can he do it? What have we built for ourselves? We have an extra fiendish codex.
No.
And yep, Chovy uses
damage.
all of his spells and fly. Oh my god! Yes, Chovy, the most calculated ever. The
Minions,
caster
man.
creeps. I want to see the damage range. It's caster creeps, 40%. Nailed it. Oh man, that was a very cool guys don't look at explosions moment.
Chovy is so smart, man. He knew that he has not enough damage, so he used his creeps intentionally.
I'm still so scared with it, because there could just still be a moment where Mystic pops off. It is getting better and better for DRX as this game goes on, and Doran is on the bottom side of the map, so DRX are going to play this one a little bit more carefully. The split push karma, thank you very much Faker for bringing that one to the LCK. And it's now going to be all about Doran utilizing that one. He's going to go back and complete his Ardent Sensor, I believe. Going to make, yes he does, so that's going to make the next team fight even more scary. Chovy goes back, Zhonya's Hourglass, done. So now we can build towards some damage onto this Mrogana, as maybe he doesn't need it, because look at this. Just calculated, guys.
It's not about Mrogana, just look at the minions, man.
Yeah.
Look at the minions.
Just, he's still walking. He's still walking, he knows. He knows.
이거 탑 1대1이지.
I want to see whether he calls it.
탑 싸울게.
Let's see whether he calls it.
1v1, guys. I'm gonna go for 1v1.
하다 빠질게.
I think I'm not killing. I'm just going out.
야, 특별 상태 안 좋아.
He's not good.
잡은 건가?
His
잡은 거 같은데?
status is not good. Oh, I got him.
Okay, so he didn't calculate it. Dang it.
Dang it.
You should have lied. You should, because like there's not many people that speak Korean in our chat, so you should have made Chovy look cooler by saying, yeah, I got it, easy, nailed it,
All
calculated.
No, he didn't.
No, don't worry, guys.
Naturally.
What did will always be honest.
Yeah, I'll be honest, guys. He just got it naturally. And he just realized that he have the minions with him.
As Blade of the Ruined King's done for Deft. So actually, as far as Ardent Sensor builds for an Ezreal, it's about the best you can get.
And it's not that sense for the third item. It's...
Yeah, it's Blade of the Ruined King. Yeah. Because like Death Stance synergizes really well with getting the Iceborne Gauntlet, right? And having all of that control and never dying. But this, he's already got a bajillion shields. He's got Black Shield, Inspire Shield, and Safeguard Shield. Stand behind me from a Braum who's going to put up Unbreakable, which is a literal gigantic shield in front of him. This is called Shield Deft, let him kill everyone.
Yeah.
And he's gone for the build that actually does it, right? Like, and, you know, Kiin presses R on the Ezreal, and DRX gets sad. Doesn't matter, got a QSS for that one. I can see what this comp's supposed to do. I apologize to DRX for not believing, but it seems for now they've made it work. 5,000 gold, though, is it enough of a lead to guarantee a win? Not entirely sure, but Fly is on bottom lane. Destiny, I don't think, will be able to reach towards the Baron pit as Afreeca do get the bad news, but how bad is the news? This Baron's not going down super fast, but they've decided to focus it. Destiny only going to get Fly to the mid lane, as Chovy is so good at stopping people from getting in. And that is just a free Baron over to DRX, and now Kiin caught out of position. Deft knows that he can just chase down the Mord, because he's not scared of the Death Realm, as now Chovy flashing forward, has picked up Fly there. Black Shield is just gigantic and lands the Dark Binding as well, but an immediate cleanse will get Fly out of it. As now Pyosik looking for the backline. Mystic, that was a sick QSS flash to get himself out of the kick there, and now this is going to be an honest team fight, but Deft still at full health, looking for Mystic, as you can see. Mystic just uses the last of his Crescendum there, so not with the optimal weapons for a team fight like this right now. But he's still alive, still at full health, still able to dish out the damage. Keria looking for an opportunity, as there's the True Shot Barrage. Going to land onto Spirit, they snipe him out. Mystic still at full health, but he's one auto away from dead, as that Moonlight Vigil was not even coming out. This should be the ace, and DRX have gone against 200 years to take down this victory with a composition we didn't think was going to work, and without necessarily the play in the early game that we thought was going to allow it to work. But in the end, you jump on the Deft Ezreal bus, and sometimes it'll just do it for you.
This composition is disgusting.
It's like, it's so CV Max though, right?
Yeah.
And you never know, like sometimes it's Funnel Lucian and it's insanity, and sometimes it's this, where it looks like it's not enough damage, but actually you can't kill them either. Because Chovy, like this, puts a Black Shield on himself, and you can have all the Nautiluses in the world, and it doesn't matter. You ain't getting through that.
That was really great reaction by Mystic, though.
Yeah, super sexy, right? And I thought this might have been the way that Afreeca wins this fight.
But still, there is so many shields. It's not about Lee Sin. It's all about Ezreal and 3 shields. So they're keep kiting. They're just keep kiting and just waiting for another shield.
This is actually the 3 Musketeers, by the way.
Yeah.
This is like Deft. He's D'Artagnan, the young, boisterous one, even though in real life he's the veteran.
Yeah.
But then you've got like the actual 3 Musketeers.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the Mrogana, the Braum, and the Karma that just make sure that D'Artagnan can run around being boisterous if he wants to, because he's never going to die.
I think all the AD carry players will be agree that this is the heaven team competition for AD carry.
Yup. People are saying buff AD carry, it's too hard to play this, and Deft's like, what do you mean? This game's so easy.
And also, yeah, as you mentioned it, it seems like this composition is working out because they have Deft, bad Deft, by the way.
Yeah.
And it sounds really crazy, but maybe CV Max already knew it. Okay, guys, maybe some people can say that we have no damage, but I do believe that Deft can get some kills. And
I mean, it doesn't matter. If you catch Mystic, then Afreeca doesn't have damage, right? Because Fly is like the most utility-based Twisted Fate.
Most utility?
Fade, yeah.
Yeah, most utility, but most useless at the same time.
It doesn't do enough damage.
No damage.
So, I mean, both of these comps rely on their AD carry, but we just know that Aphelios can single-handedly carry in the late game much easier and much more quickly than an Ezreal can, but Afreeca, unfortunately, they've dropped the ball, and Deft is completely out of control. And they've got Ocean Soul now as well, on top of that. That happened while we were in the replay. And yeah, Ocean Soul plus Mrogana, plus the 3 Musketeers, you know, the Mrogana, the Karma, and the Braum. The amount of protection that there is for Deft is insane. And now there's an endlessly large rod on Chovy. He's going to start doing legitimate damage here. And also slow everyone forever. The ease of access here for Pyosik, who's basically just going to like trade flashes with Mystic at every opportunity.
I think it's already done so. I think there is no way that DRX can lose this game at this spot.
Yep.
They have Ocean Drake, they have Fat Ezreal, especially on the Deft. And yeah, I think this game is already over. So, Afreeca Freecs, they really need to try one last miracle team fight.
I swear this was CVMax, like, saying, no, guys, look, this is what a composition like this is supposed to do. And last time, they had a Graves. This time, they have a Lee Sin. And maybe that's the answer. Maybe the fact that you can almost guarantee picks with a kick flash on a carry. Maybe that's the answer. It's Kiin. Does throw down the Death Realm, but he's still going to die. The Karma, not something that he can actually deal with here. As now we're diving Nexus turrets. The Twisted Fate going to go down first as Mystic. He's trying to keep himself alive, but there's just too much CC. You can never stop being slowed as Deft is on the enemy fountain as he grabs the triple kill, looking for the Quadra, but he's not going to get it. Spirit goes golden to deny. Goes golden twice. He's in the shop, guys, so he's able to do that one. And now the Nexus is the last thing that they're going to be taking.
10k!
He's even got a GA. You're not doing it, guys. Spirit, I think, sold all of his items and got a
10k
GA.
damage. Oh,
He did.
he's so smart.
Oh, man. So Spirit, the king of the trolls, 100%.